Today we are testing out the Meepo V5 for the very first time.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, my name is Ronan. I make vlogs and I make product and tech reviews, and in today's video we're going to be reviewing the Meepo V5 electric skateboard. So if you've been following along with my channel at all, and if you saw my last video, you'll know that my friends at Meepo actually sent me the V5 recently, and I haven't actually had a chance to ride it yet. All I've done is take it out of the box, turn it on, spin the wheels a little bit off the remote, and charge it up. That's all I've actually done. I'm really excited to check out this board and see what it's like and let you guys know what it's like. And if you're wondering whether or not you should actually buy this board, watch to the end of the video and I will let you guys know what I think.
I haven't done anything with the board at all, so I actually brought down my T-tool just in case I need to tighten up trucks and that kind of thing. I'm confident that I will need to tighten up the trucks. First impressions of the board are that it's really nice. It's super smooth and pulls away really smoothly. It's very carvy at the moment. I do feel like, particularly that back truck, I'm gonna tighten it up. It's really, I feel like the board leans much more than I'm used to and maybe comfortable with at the moment. I have it in speed mode 4. Normally I start this in speed mode 1 and then go to 2 and 3 and then 4, but I just decided to start straight away in speed mode 4 today to see what it was like. It doesn't kind of have that sort of gut punch torque that you get with the V4S and that the V3 had, but it picks up speed very quickly and picks up speed very smoothly. Really loving the braking and acceleration action at the moment. It's just really smooth. Definitely a great board that you could learn on compared to, say, like the V3 or the V4 that I'm used to. They were also great boards to learn on, but this I just feel is a lot more forgiving than they are. Which is really nice. So I think if you're a beginner, this is just a nice board just to get to grips with. The other thing that's really nice so far on the board is the deck. The deck is much flatter than the V4S at least, and I'm finding that with that I really like kind of just, it's comfortable to stand on. I will see, I've only been on it for about 2-3 minutes already, so like it's kind of too soon to tell whether or not my feet will get like really sore on it. But so far, I definitely feel like it's more of a cruising board, kind of feels more casual than the other boards that I've ridden. But it's very nice. Yeah, so I'm just gonna stop it here now and tighten up my front truck a tiny little bit. So yeah, the reason I just want to tighten up this front truck is just that at the moment I feel like the board is just like, it's almost hard to keep it in a straight line at speed. Whereas if I'm like going slowly or whatever, it's kind of nice and it's fine. But at the moment, it just, when I'm going fast, it just feels like it's snaking way more than I like. So the truck's just that little bit tighter. I really feel a lot more comfortable on the board. It feels easier to just kind of keep it going in a straight line. Still have a good turning radius though, which is nice. One thing just to point out about this board, this is so quiet compared to my other electric skateboards. The V3 and the V4S kind of howled by comparison. The motors in this thing, you can't hear them at all when you're up and running. You just hear the wheels against the pavement. So that's really nice. What I like about that is there isn't a huge amount on this board to kind of show that it's an electric skateboard. So if you're just cruising around, a lot of people just think you're on a regular skateboard. It's a really comfortable board to use, I have to say. Down here on like the surfaces that I'm using it on here are quite smooth, but yeah, this board is really comfortable so far. I would say it probably feels more comfortable than my V4S, which is interesting to me because it has much smaller wheels, more akin to like street wheels. I'd be curious to see what it's like when I get it onto a little bit kind of rougher terrain and that kind of thing, but for now I'm really liking how this board is holding up. I'm back home, and I'm home a little while, so I've had a little bit of time to kind of think about the Meepo V5 and formulate some thoughts and opinions on the board. First up, and I touched on this while I was out on the board, but the Meepo V5 is really smooth, so it doesn't feel like it's quite as aggressive as previous generations, but I kind of like that. So basically, when you have it in its maximum speed mode, and you pull away, you don't feel like you're going to be thrown off the board. And I just think if you're somebody who's just starting out, learning to ride an electric skateboard, that's a really good thing. Just means that you're going to feel a bit safer and more secure on the board when you're kind of learning how to use it. And then also, if you're somebody who actually has quite a bit of experience and maybe you want to use the board as a commuter board to get into work or whatever, again, it's the same kind of thing. You don't feel like the board is going to throw you off every time you pull away at a set of traffic lights or something like that. So that's something that, like, I'm really looking forward to kind of using this board more and actually commuting with this board, and just kind of having that kind of like more relaxed vibe. In saying that, I'm not saying that the V5 is slower than previous generations. I don't actually feel like it is. I think it does feel like it's as fast as the V4S and the V3 before it, but it just doesn't feel like it's kind of trying to kill you as much as those boards kind of do. And like, don't get me wrong, I like the aggressive nature of the other boards too, but I do really enjoy the kind of more relaxed vibe that the V5 offers. So I just kind of want to run through some of the kind of technical specifications and upgrades that Meepo have put on this board over the previous generation. So Meepo say that all parts are newly designed to kind of improve the overall performance of the board. And I can say now, having ridden it, that actually, yes, it does feel like it's quite a different board to the previous generations. And Meepo also say that they've improved reliability in the power system, so it means that there's like a lower failure rate with these newer boards, which is really great to hear. I haven't had any trouble whatsoever with my V4S. I had a little bit of trouble with my V3 that I was able to fix myself, and I will leave a link to that video up here, wherever it goes, if you want to see how I did that. But in general, I have to say reliability hasn't been a big problem for me with Meepo boards, but it is nice to hear that Meepo are actually saying that this board is more reliable than previous generations. So it's always something that you want to hear when you're investing in a product like this. Okay, so the next point of difference is the deck itself. So Meepo have lengthened the deck on this board, so it's a much longer deck than the V4S, and Meepo say that that kind of offers greater stability at speed. The other thing Meepo have done is they've changed the bushing in the rear. So on the V4S, you had a 100A bushing on the rear and a 92A bushing on the front, whereas with the Meepo V5, you now get 92A bushings front and back. For me personally, I quite liked the stiffer bushing on the back, so I might swap that over from one of my other boards, but I have actually cranked down the rear truck a little bit more just to kind of offer more stability on the roads, and so far I'm really happy with how it behaves. People also say that they've improved the accuracy of the braking control. That's not something that I hugely felt there was an issue on my V4S, but definitely I can tell you that there's absolutely zero lag on the V5. When you accelerate and when you brake, the board responds instantaneously. It's really nice. It means that you're more confident when you're on the board, and you know that if you need to respond to something quickly, that the board will respond immediately. And then the next kind of point of separation between the V5 and the V4 is that Meepo have put a handle in the deck. So there's a handle right here, and that is really useful just for if you're carrying the board at all. You can just kind of stop, reach down, grab the board by the handle. It's really nicely balanced as well, so it kind of makes it easier to hold. It's a really good way, like you say, if you need to like cross a road quickly or something like that, you don't have to worry about like grabbing the board by the trucks, which can kind of be dirty or whatever. So the Meepo V3 also had a handle like this, and they're really convenient. When I was using my V4S, like, I didn't mind that the handle wasn't there, but I would occasionally miss it when I kind of needed to reach down and grab the board in a hurry. So having it back here is really nice. And the last really nice kind of upgrade that Meepo have made to this board is that they actually include bash guards on the board. So you can see there's a bash guard here right at the front, and another one here right at the tail. What that means is if you are standing your board up like I am now, the tail of the board is resting against the floor, means that there's not going to be any damage to the deck, because that's something that I notice on both my previous boards, is that like the nose and the tail, they do get kind of bashed, particularly if you're standing the boards like I'm standing this right now, or also sometimes like you smack into like a curb or something like that, and it just means that the board is protected. It's not something that I hugely worried about with my previous boards, but it's really nice to see that Meepo have included it with this board. Okay, so like my overall first impressions of this board are that I actually really like it. I don't have any negatives really to say about the board so far. I think it's really, really comfortable. Like, I like that it kind of feels a little bit more relaxed than previous generations. I just think that's nice. Just really smooth. It's obvious that Meepo put a lot of work into this board and they've really refined this board. And then in terms of the price, this board is actually quite affordable. This is the standard range version of the board and it retails for $500 US, but if you buy it from the Meepo website right now, it's actually on sale, $50 off, so it's $449, which I think is actually really good value for a board like this. So I guess the last question then is, would I recommend this board to somebody who's looking to buy an electric skateboard? And the short answer is absolutely yes. I think for the price of this board, it's incredible value. I think the build quality is really good. It's a really good looking board. Like, I just love the styling that Meepo have gone with on this board. Like, the gray stripe around the grip tape is just really nice. The minimalist Meepo logo down in the bottom left hand corner is also really good, and you've got a nice little orange arrow at the front here to tell you which way the front is. And again, the styling on the underside where you can kind of see the wood grain at the edges, but it's mostly black. It's a really, really nice finish. And I think Meepo have just done great things with this board. So I would definitely recommend this board to somebody who was interested in buying it. And with that being said, I'm actually going to leave a link to this board in the description below. The link is an affiliate link, so if you do decide to buy a board through my link, I get a little kickback, which I put back into the channel. But equally, if you're looking to buy one of these boards, don't feel obliged to use my affiliate link. Okay, so I actually have an awful lot more content about this board coming up on my channel. I want to do a full range test on the board so you guys will know exactly what the range of this board is if you're looking to get one. Another thing that I want to do is Meepo have redesigned these hub motors from previous generations, and actually what that means is the sleeves can be taken off quite easily. And what that means is I can actually take the wheels off my old V4S and put them onto my V5. My V4S has 105 cloud wheels on the front and 105 donut wheels on the back. The idea with those wheels is that they really improve the kind of comfort of the board when you're on the road, and particularly if the road surfaces are bad, that kind of thing. Those wheels are supposed to be much more comfortable than the kind of narrower 90mm wheels that the V5 comes with. And I want to try that out just to see kind of how the V5 performs with those bigger wheels. And also, those bigger wheels really have a severe impact on the overall range of the V4S. I ended up putting the extended range battery into this one because with these wheels, it didn't have the range to get me into work. For me, kind of 10 kilometers is the magic number in terms of my commute. So if the board can do 10 kilometers, I'm happy with that. And if it can't, then I need something else. So I want to see, will the V5 have better range than the V4S with these wheels on it? So that's also a video that I'm going to make. So stay tuned for those if you're interested to see kind of how the V5 performs and how it performs with the bigger wheels. But for now, I'm going to leave this video here. That's all I have to say about the Meepo V5 for the moment. I hope you've liked this video. If you do, please give it a big thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video.